Welcome live to Shenandoah Field. Friday Night Lights for Lynchburg Field Hockey in their home opener, their season opener on LHSN as they welcome in the other Hornets, the Shenandoah University Hornets. I'm Joe Hutzler, narrating this journey tonight with you, and looking forward to yet another great matchup between these two programs. It's always tight, especially the last few years. We'll talk more about that series history in a little while, but first, let's look at the two teams based off their previous stats from their last full season in 2019. You can see goals, shots per game, shots on goal percentage, all pretty even, and that's why they played for it all in the 2019 ODAC title game, in which Lynchburg was victorious right here the last time they played here on Shellenberger Field. We'll step aside and come right back, talk more about players to watch and our coaches for today's matchup on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here. And I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to then go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, I don't know, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool, but regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
Let's take a look at our players to watch today for the Hornets versus Hornets matchup. And we begin with Shenandoah's Kelsey Jones. She's just one of the top 3 point scorers for this team that is returning here in 2021. 42 points, 24 assists, which led the nation in 2019. Now for Lynchburg, it's Miss Laurel Nix in net that we want to talk about this evening. In that 2019 season, 24 starts for her, 23 goals against, almost just shy, of 1 goal against per game, 87 saves, and that 20-4 record, one of the best ever in Hornets history. Now to our coaches for today's matchup, and we begin with the visitors, who are led by Ashley Smeltzercraft, 88 wins in her 8th year with the program. She's also, just like her counterpart, a senior woman administrator at Shenandoah University. And her wife, Melissa, who's the women's basketball head coach, has a game tomorrow. A pretty big weekend for the Smeltzercraft family. And on Lynchburg's side, it's that lady in the middle, Enza Steele, 42nd season at the helm here at University of Lynchburg. 20 ODAC titles, 21 NCAA appearances, and over 600 victories in her time as the Hornets head coach. Very much looking forward to the 21st meeting between these two programs since 2004. Lynchburg's dominating the series 19-1, but it is a series that has been tight in terms of the score, and even an upset victory for Shenandoah back in 2016. That's the only win for Shenandoah in this rivalry. It came in the ODAC tournament right here on this turf. Lynchburg has won the last 5 meetings between these two, including 2 matchups in 2019, culminating with that 2-1 win in the 2019 ODAC Championship, the 20th championship for Lynchburg field hockey. We talked about some of the key pieces, no specific names yet, but just the fact that Kelsey Jones is one of the top three that's returning in the points category, but they do have a solid keeper in net. Isabella Morandi is going to be a key piece to Shenandoah's success this season, as you might expect, and she was in 2019 as well. The first-team All-Stater and 2019 ODAC Defensive Player of the Year is ready to go, and so are we. Lynchburg and Shenandoah for the 21st time since 1999. Right away, pretty good possession for Shenandoah. First game of the season for both of these teams. Of course, a shortened year, moving from the fall of 2020 to here in the spring of 2021. No NCAA tournament for fall sports, but would gladly play for a conference championship. Kessa Romero pushes it through for Lynchburg. Good block from Amanda Henson, I beg your pardon. Lindsay Florio lays it back for Elizabeth Randberger. Now it's in the middle, and it'd be interesting for me, and probably you too, to see if there's any type of feeling out process. I know Lynchburg has played a few exhibition games, so they feel more comfortable than this being their true first game. I imagine Shenandoah has done the same. So even though it's the first time we're seeing them in a competitive format, the players' confidence in their abilities could be higher than you might expect in game one. And all around campus today, no matter who we ran into, everyone talking about big game tonight, big game tonight. Don't even know anything about field hockey, but we know this is a big game. And we're looking forward to it, living up to that billing. Long hit that will roll across the end line. One needs to zoom in and tilt up. I don't need to see the balls outside end line. Are they out of bounds? Blue line. Outside blue line. Whistle that gives it back to Shenandoah. Good push here by Lynchburg, but not able to chase it down was Brittany Clayball. Free hit from Hannah Menk. Good pass through. Not a lot of help, though, for Shenandoah. Able to slow down the pace and go for a push. Lindsay Florio outside, looking to sweep it in. And who's there more than Taylor Green? Excellent defenseman for Lynchburg. 25 in black. A team that is pretty much the same from that 2019 championship team, as we get a ball inside the shooting area for the first time, and we're going to get our first corner of the evening as well. But it's going to be much easier for someone like myself in my role to pick out Lynchburg's players because they haven't changed a whole lot since 2019, unlike some of our other teams on campus.
Shenandoah corner being taken by number 6, Elizabeth Randberger.
Elizabeth Randberger is taking the corner. First corner of the season. Out top, who else? Pushed here near side, and then negated by Alexis Brown's stick. I expected Kelsey Jones to take a shot from the top side. Shenandoah still with possession, though, still threatening. Good crosser through the middle. Nix is down, and the ball rolls out for Emily Dudley to scoop up. and take control of, but that was a dangerous moment for Lynchburg's defense. A nice progressive moment for Shenandoah early on in the first quarter. Jones intercepted by Brown, and then a whistle will give Lynchburg the free hit. Alexis Brown, 2019 first team All-State, All-ODAC, and third team All-American. You see a good dose of 13 in black, as well as there's 25. Taylor Green again. Maggie Chapese. Her pass intercepted. Lays down the block, and a clean takeaway from Henson. Seen really good work so far on this side of the turf by the midfield group of both teams. An angle that we've never seen before on LHSN, as that pass didn't have enough on it, and now Shenandoah on the rush. And another corner, I believe. Now just going to be a free hit from there. Was not in the shooting circle, just outside of that black line. Once again, free hit situation. Flipped up by Jones, and not able to chase it down and keep it in play. Really good sustained pressure by Shenandoah early in this one. Lynchburg's midfield and defense have been on their heels most of the time. Really good battle between Revman and Florio, and Shenandoah is going to win it on the whistle. This one skips through. Did not touch anyone's body or stick. Well, actually, no, they say it did deflect off of Lynchburg, so they'll bring it back to the 16. Jones, good dribble. Brown putting down the block. Shenandoah trying to roll with it before the ball was ready to go. It was Cassidy Morrison trying to make that play. Now it's Lynchburg looking for a bit of fast break offense. Why not give it to Jackie Laro? ODAC Rookie of the Year freshman season. Multiple ODAC first teamer. And terrific defense getting back and helping was Kylie Tubner. On the rush now, it's Morrison. Backhands one-on-one. Redmond playing defense, that time on Tyre. And whistle gives it back to Lynchburg. Lauren Tyre is another familiar name for Shenandoah out of that top group from 2019. We told you about Kelsey Jones. Lauren Tyre also with a double-digit point season, 15 points, 6 goals and 3 assists way back when, over 400 days since these teams have played competitively against another opponent. Lynchburg's best chance, tripped up his clay ball, and the first corner of the night for Lynchburg. Lynchburg had 227 penalty corners in 2019. Don't have stats on how many goals were scored on those, but they did not score over 100 goals on the year. 74 total in that historic 20-4 season. Rolls out to Brown, quickly passing to an open Dudley, rips one and gets through. First shot attempt of the night, deflected in front for Lynchburg, and they lead it 1-0 with 7:02 to go in the first. I think it was deflected by Jackie Laro, I'm not sure, and it looks like the officials are going to have a conversation as well. So a chat being had here. And that will count for Lynchburg. Check it out one more time on the replay. Let's see who it gets deflected by. You see Dudley with that patented wind-up. And
assisted by
And they're going to give it on the PA. The public address announcer says Brittany Clayball. So the first goal of 2021 belongs to the junior out of Chesapeake, Virginia. And the Hornets make the most of their first shot attempt of the ball game. One shot, one goal. Now they're looking forward to building off of that. Romero gets around two. Excellent dribbling skills from 22 in black. If you follow Lynchburg's program, you know 22 is a legacy number. Coach Steele likes to hand pick the person that wears that number. Worked pretty well for the last lady, Nikki Simpao. And still a bright future ahead for Romero. Pretty good pass as well, by the way. 17 points in 2019 for Romero. 7 goals and 3 assists. Shenandoah on the other end, looking to counter, but Alexis Brown, very sure-handed stick play. And then she takes it, or has it taken away, I should say. Lindsay Florio. Brown laying down the block. And then quickly sends it out here for Romero. Casa Romero works it around Jones. Jackie Laro picks it up in the middle. Laro working on Tubner. And a whistle that gives it to the visitors. Under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Just one shot and one goal on the stat sheet. Season opener for both teams. Chapese will pick it up. Dribbling to the outside, looking and finding. Good ball played in. And now sent out. Hard hit, and then looks like they'll call it off the body of Lynchburg, so Shenandoah will take it back. Another good rush here for Lynchburg. Romero crossing one hard through the middle. No one able to get a deflection on it, probably because of all the smoke coming off of that. Great cut on the dribble by Emma Strauss. Brown looking. Dribbler through, finds Laro. Looking for a shot on the run. It's just outside the crease. Morandi did not know where it was. It was behind her. But the whistle saves her and the Hornets of Shenandoah's defense.
coming in for Lynchburg, number 20, Brooke Highland.
Brooke Highland has just checked in for Lynchburg. First time on Schellenberger Field in an ODAC contest for the freshman out of Glen Gardner, New Jersey. Ball ball that gets through. Great chance here for Shenandoah. Well out of her net is Nix. Trying to work back to it for a shot was Morrison. And Lynchburg, for the second time in this quarter, can breathe a sigh of relief, but not for the lack of Shenandoah's effort. 2 times now, the ball has been behind or to the side of Nix. And Shenandoah just not able to put it past her. Shenandoah is credited with a shot. Lynchburg now has 2. And there's a save on the board for Isabella Morandi. Good job on that far side, Emma Strauss, tight roping. And now has it stolen away. Biding her time, trying to poke that stick in there was Farron Winter. Alex Brown, Alexis Brown that is. Her pass intended for Dudley. Clayball still working on it. Brittany Clayball with the lone goal so far, as we're under 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Shenandoah looking for at least one more push. Green steps in front. Redmond will complete the steal. In the middle, carrying it through, Colin Schneider. And a whistle will give Shenandoah a free hit. Under 30 seconds to play. Schneider keeps it low. Couple Hornets go down, 1 from each squad. As Jones picks it up, chips it in, looking for a chance. 2 seconds and 1 quarter is done. 15 minutes gone, and Lynchburg leads at 1-0 thanks to Brittany Clayball. First goal of the season. And the first quarter of the season are in the books. We'll step aside and be right back with a second quarter of action on LHSN.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field under the lights here on Friday night. A calm before the storm here on campus, as tomorrow we will have men's lacrosse, baseball, tennis. Actually, tennis is not here, but men's lacrosse and baseball here at home. Then women's lacrosse, women's basketball, men's basketball, all taking place tomorrow and all on LHSN, except for men's lacrosse, who have the exclusive partnership with the Lacrosse Sports Network. Shenandoah looking at a 1-0 deficit to start the second quarter. Lynchburg with 2 shots, Shenandoah with 1. And Isabella Morandi has a save on her stat sheet. Laurel Nix has a couple scaries, but no saves yet. Jackie Lara with good pressure. She was working against Hannah Mink. Now it's Alexis Brown trying to split Jones and Randberger. Free hit for Brown. Passed here, connected well to Shockley. Romero around 2 defenders, looking for the pass through the middle. Good stick work though by Schneider, slows it down. But Lynchburg will have their second corner attempt of the match. If you're just joining us, the lone goal scored by Brittany Clayball for Lynchburg. Now on their second corner, looking for goal number 2. Brown will pull it down. And once again, going over to Dudley, trying to use the same recipe to win the blue ribbon. But someone else brought the secret sauce this year. As that one slides past. And will be a defensive hit for Shenandoah. A whistle will keep it with Shenandoah. Long toss. Good one on target. Nix comes out, punches it down. Now she's trying to make a play and trips up. Number 14 and white, Lindsay Florio, who's been all over the offensive action. But how about that long toss, that rainbow arc from Kelsey Jones that landed right in front of the sprinting Morrison? Nix had to make a play. Always dangerous on that rebound when you punch it down. Quickly got back to keep it from getting past her, but in the end, Shenandoah will head over and take on their second penalty corner of the half. First of the quarter. Wide open chance here, patted away by Nix. And another corner. That one going off the foot of Redmond inside the shooting circle. Really a lot of room for Farron Winter that time.
Taking this corner for Shenandoah, number 6, Elizabeth Randberger.
Freshman from Gloucester, Virginia. Looking for her first goal in college. Not going to have to take it this time, as that long shot, those long strides from Kelsey Jones, putting a lot of power on that. But it missed left. Now she wastes no time throwing it through. Nix has to get behind her, close to that goal line. Whistle is blown. And I missed the official's hand gesture. Apologies for that. And I think we've got a stroke. Yes, we do. We have a penalty stroke. Someone's extra empty hand was on top of the ball inside the shooting area. So Kelsey Jones taking a penalty stroke. She did not take one in 2019. And just misses top left. Now there's a conversation being had. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're saying Nix didn't have right, but we got another attempt at this stroke. Everyone's set. And that time, Jones makes it count.
Shenandoah. Goal scored by number 10, Kelsey Jones.
Check it out one more time. Went left again, but this time more accurate with the placement. And so Kelsey Jones scores for the first time in 2021. First goal for Shenandoah coming from who you would expect. And we're tied at 1. Yet another tight contest with lots of time to go. So choose wisely on when you need to take a bathroom break. Hayden Shockley, free hit. Gets through a couple sticks. And then Jones reaching longer than Laro can and keeping possession. Shenandoah now out shooting Lynchburg 5-3 overall. It was 2-1 Lynchburg to start the second quarter. And each keeper has a save and a goal against. We've had some really good battles on LHSN this week, and so far this one living up to that trend. A 5-set thriller that went beyond 15 points on the volleyball court Wednesday night. Last night we went 110 minutes with soccer, coming away with no goals, but a good chunk of saves and a lot of great action between Roanoke and Lynchburg. And here we are, season opener for Lynchburg and Shenandoah. Tied at 1, goals from Clayball and Jones. Laro could not get it through. Once again, excellent work by Kylie Tubner. Another young member of Coach Smeltzer-Craft's team. A little hot for Brown, but she'll calm it down and give the pass to Strauss. Emma Strauss, deflected by Jones. Good dribbling by Mink. Then Redmond steps in the way. Good work as this one is sent through, and a whistle before it even got to the area of Jackie Laro. Free hit, stolen away by Brown. Pass intended for Dudley. We should mention Sydney Metz is out on the field now for Lynchburg. It's another disadvantage of being on this side of the field is not having that bird's eye view of the subs as they come in. Not in my line of sight, so we'll do our best to point them out pretty much whenever they touch the ball, and I realize it's a different number than was there before. Brown looking and sending a pretty good one for Romero, but it was too strong. Instead, it's picked up by Henson. And a whistle that keeps it with Shenandoah. Good lead pass ahead, and then mishandled though. That was Morrison who had a chance. Jones will clean it up in the midfield, going deep and connecting with Tyre. Lauren Tyre spins around, trying to get it off the body of Redmond in the shooting area. Maybe a corner coming, but Alex Redmond had other ideas. Senior doing a tremendous job keeping the ball off her body and still making a great defensive play. And now Lynchburg on the run, dead sprint, and getting there first was Sarah McCullum. There's fresh legs off the bench, playing a key role. Emily Dudley, who has an assist, now has it stolen away. Body-on-body foul, free hit that Jones steps into. Green knocks it down. Under 8 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Substitution for Shenandoah, number 14, Lindsay Florio.
Lindsay Florio is back in for Shenandoah. Looks like she is giving Lauren Tyre a breather. Redmond trying to jab that one away. Instead, it's backhanded through and then picked up here by Shockley. Not sure Morrison knew what was happening right there. I think she was expecting a whistle. She kept going and slowed up. Meanwhile, Lynchburg trying to push it back through the midfield. That's been a great battle in that area today for two teams that possess really good midfield play.
Substitution for Shenandoah, number 21, Abby Barefoot.
Abby Barefoot, freshman defenseman, steps in for the first time for Shenandoah. Picked up by Schneider. And we got a trip. The initial whistle on Schneider turns into a green card against Colleen Schneider. So she'll have to go sit.
Green card assessed to Shenandoah, number 2.
Romero flying through inside the circle, winds up.
A 2-minute penalty.
As Schneider sits for 2 minutes. Lynchburg would love to have a corner opportunity. Use that extra player on the pitch to help them out. Ten versus 9 right now. As the ball belongs to Shenandoah. Hayden Shockley wasn't a fan of the call, so she will bat that one away. Great job towing the line here close to us. That was Brooke Highland, the freshman, keeping it in play and trying to keep Lynchburg's forward momentum moving. Taylor Green takes it herself through the middle. Now they'll switch sides to Strauss. It did get a little bit clustered on this side of the field, so makes sense that they're going to go to the other side now, try things out. About a minute left in the green card penalty to Colleen Schneider. And Shenandoah will just send it deep. No icing in field hockey for 2 reasons. 1, different rules. 2, no ice. Pass collected by Laro, has her stick pulled on. Officials playing possession instead of blowing the whistle there, so Lynchburg continues to move ahead. Highland backhands it for Chapese. Morandi steps out on top for the stop. Now another chance, and a corner will come on McCullum's opportunity. Schneider's green card penalty is over, by the way, so we are at full strength for this corner. It'll be Lynchburg's 3rd of the night to match Shenandoah's total. Lynchburg scoring their first goal on that first corner attempt. This time they're going to bring it near side with Emma Strauss. Before it's been Brown to Dudley. Now it's going to be Romero on the short pass. She'll chip it inside. And the whistle will give it back to Shenandoah. Not able to get a good opportunity out of that. And Schneider right away off the bench from serving that penalty and gets involved. A junior from Stafford, Virginia, plans to be a force in the midfield. Elizabeth Ranberger getting a little more turf than she bargained for. Romero in the teeth of this defense. And in the end, the whistle goes against the home squad. But what an effort by Kessa Romero. Cassidy Morrison comes sprinting in from the bench for Shenandoah as they've made a few changes. And Lynchburg still possessing more than Shenandoah since that penalty stroke goal from Kelsey Jones. But we're still tied at 1. Under 3 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Game number 1 for both of these programs. Emily Dudley has checked back in for Lynchburg. She's on the run as Chapese looks ahead, has a couple options. She's got McCullum or Dudley. She keeps it herself. Now I'm sure she'll kind of roll back in the center. Chops one inside, hoping to get it through to McCullum. Instead, stepping in front of that potential pass was Tubner. Still battling just outside the shooting area. I guess I should say scoring area. You can only score if you're inside that half circle. Also, it keeps popping in my head that that's actually what it's called. So we're going to go with that. Eight of the 16 games being broadcasted from this past Wednesday through Sunday, I'll be on the call for. And I told a colleague yesterday I wouldn't be surprised if Lynchburg scores a touchdown this weekend. That's how confused my brain will be with all these sports. Under 1 minute to play in the first half. Shenandoah with a 5-3 shots advantage, each keeper with a stop and each team with a goal. One on a corner, one on a penalty stroke. Shenandoah building for another chance. Good defense by Shockley, who had her stick down and really nowhere to go once she got inside for Elise Velasquez. And that may be our last good chance of the quarter. It may not. Ranberger. Pressure coming from Romero. And with 5 seconds left, that should do it for the second quarter and the first half. 30 minutes in the books. Just as we expected, it is a tight one between Shenandoah and Lynchburg, all knotted up at 1 apiece on LHSN.
Everyone has a story. A triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. Every story has a beginning. For us, our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students, professors, staff, and alumni around the world. In a community that supports who we are and who we want to be, We're on a journey to find where our passions lead so we can lead others to find theirs. Together, we have more experience, we have more knowledge than we do alone. Eventually, our stories will lead us to a path all our own, and we will share our passions with the world. No matter the journey we choose, the University of Lynchburg is, and always will be, our home.
Halftime here at Schellenberger Field. It's 1-1 between Shenandoah and Lynchburg on LHSN. Brittany Clayball scoring for Lynchburg and Kelsey Jones for Shenandoah. We'll take a quick break and be back with highlights and stats from the first half of play.
Carrie Brewer became the 7th president of Lynchburg College in 1964, only 15 years after his graduation in 1949. During those intervening years, he had earned a PhD in public policy from Harvard, served as an aide to 2 major congressional committees, and was the director of emergency preparedness in the Kennedy administration. Returning to his alma mater, he hit the ground running. Dr. Brewer initiated a change in the college charter to allow students of all races to enroll. He cut the standard faculty teaching load by 20%. He improved faculty and staff salaries and increased the size of the faculty and the student body. He sought to raise the visibility of the college in Lynchburg as well as the larger community by offering graduate programs in education, business, and physics to meet identified needs in Central Virginia. An enthusiastic fan of LC sports, Dr. Brewer added administrative support to the college's athletic programs, resulting in the emergence of Lynchburg College as a national athletic power. During his presidency, Shenandoah Chapel, the courts, McWayne, Tate, and Montgomery residence halls, the Burton Student Center, Turner Gymnasium, Wakefield House, Foxfield, the Dillard Fine Arts Building, the Capron Library, and the residences on Faculty Drive were added to the college physical plan. Also, Memorial Gymnasium was transformed into Hall Campus Center. Carnegie Hall was converted into faculty offices, and the surviving World War II Quonset hut was remodeled into the psychology building. However, perhaps the greatest legacy left Lynchburg College by Carrie Brewer is the attitude embedded in his oft-repeated statement that a great college is always in the process of becoming. In the decade since he retired, Lynchburg College has become a university and has continued to grow and change, moving ever closer towards becoming the institution envisioned by a 36-year-old neophyte college president over half a century ago.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
Just like that, we are back under the lights of Schellenberger Field. It is halftime, and we're tied at 1 between Lynchburg and Shenandoah. Let's take a look at the first half stats here so far after 30 minutes. And as you might expect in a 1-1 game, pretty tight throughout. Shenandoah with 3 shots in that second quarter to give them more than Lynchburg overall. And of course, they've got that 1 extra shot on goal. Laurel Nix with 2 saves, Isabella Morandi with 1, and each team with 3 penalty corners apiece. So very, very close battle that we've got on hand, and very excited for what we've got in the next 30 minutes here on LHSN. I also promised you highlights from the first half, and we're having technical difficulties. So what we're going to do is tell you what else is going on in the ODAC right now at halftime. Washington and Lee leads Eastern Mennonite 3-0. Hold on, guys. Let me finish what I'm saying, and then we'll do the highlights. 3-0 right now. WNL leading EMU. And at halftime, Sweetbriar and Bridgewater tied at 1. Look at the Vixens. Great start to the season for them. All right, let's take a look at those highlights from the first half. We've got a couple goals to show you along the way. Got a couple saves and really good chances for Shenandoah, especially early. Nix getting out in front of that one. Here's that goal off a corner. Dudley with the shot deflected by Clayball in, and a 1-0 lead for Lynchburg in the first quarter with 7:02 to go. Couple really good options from Kelsey Jones, that rainbow that led to a good chance, and then eventually a penalty stroke. Second time for Kelsey Jones. The first one she missed, but then they made her take it again. Don't know what the reason was for that. Of course, we'll find out after the game. But on her second chance, she was more accurate. She potted the goal, and that's how we got to a 1-1 game here at the break. We've talked a lot about the weekend coming up here on campus, and worth reminding you again that all games on campus this weekend will be on LHSN. Every game except for the 2 men's lacrosse matchups for 12 o'clock Saturday and 12 o'clock Sunday will be right here on LHSN's YouTube channel. Admittedly, they're all going to look a little bit different. We're a little short-staffed, but we're going to have audio and video and ability to show you the score. That's all that really matters. Again, tomorrow, high noon, we've got men's lacrosse on LSN and Lynchburg baseball at noon against Ferrum on LHSN. Then they'll be followed by their second game at 3 o'clock. Here on Schellenberger Field at 3, we're going to have women's lacrosse action as they try to go 2-0 on the season. And then here, they're taking on Meredith, by the way. And then we've got some ODAC championship tournament games starting at 4:30. Women's basketball, who is now the highest seed remaining after Bridgewater's women's basketball team deemed that they could not take part in the ODAC tournament. Lynchburg, being the 2 seed, will now be the highest seed remaining. And as they battle the Wasps of Emory and Henry at 4:30 tomorrow, 3rd time this season, they'll try to defeat the Wasps, and no bigger game than that one. And then the nightcap tomorrow, Lynchburg men's basketball hosting the Royals of Eastern Mennonite at 7 p.m., also a part of the 2021 ODAC basketball tournament. And then Sunday, a bunch of other stuff. And you want to check it all out, go to lynchburgsports.com. Second half is ready to be started. At least it is for the players. There's the whistles, and there's the first touch. Each team switching sides, as is custom. Of course, a couple years ago, it was 2 30-minute halves. Now they are broken up into 4 15-minute quarters. We are aware that on your scoreboard on your screen it says second. That is because we are using the soccer configuration, and therefore there are only 2 halves in soccer. So we apologize for that. Just think of it as second half, as it used to be a few years ago. And the next time we have a match here on LHSN, we'll go with a sport that uses quarters. In that first half, we saw each team with good chances for one another. Bit of a pendulum type of match, but the first quarter definitely going more Lynchburg's way. Second quarter, Shenandoah. So if you split that up into one half, you could say each of them won a quarter, which is very even overall in terms of the gameplay, and hence the score that we have as well. So it'll be interesting to see if any of that changes. For our sake, from an entertainment standpoint, we hope it doesn't. We want it to stay even and stay close. Of course, if you were watching, you may feel differently about your favorite team, and that is understandable. Alexis Brown starts this free hit with a pass to Strauss. Dudley chips it in. Lero picks it up along the goal line. And then it was last touch by Shenandoah. So they bring it back to the blue line, the 16. Brown will start again, and this time swing it to the other side of the field. Shockley sweeps it forward. Here's Romero. And off the side of the net, out of play. Defensive hit for Shenandoah. And once again, someone having trouble keeping their forward truck locked. You may hear the alarm go off a few times. Good pass that connects to Lero. Here comes Dudley on the trail, and she misses left on the one-timer. Not too many other players in this conference more dangerous in those one-timer situations than Emily Dudley. And she was that close to her first of 2021. A player that boasted the second most points on the team in 2019. 16 goals, 4 assists for 36 points. She was also third on the team with a 64% shots on goal percentage. High accuracy for the senior as well. Now it's Shenandoah's turn. On the counter. Morrison chasing it down, waiting for some help. And then knocked out of play by Lynchburg. Kelsey Jones wastes no time on these 16, so Lynchburg's got to be ready for a quick lift. Instead, she'll dribble and dish. Low pass that's through, off a body. And they're going to say it was off Shenandoah first. It did go off of Lynchburg, but the deflection came from Shenandoah first, so defensive hit from Taylor Green. Farron Winter had it taken away by Emma Strauss. We'll get to see Strauss and Dudley on this side of the field now. That ball still finds its way to Kessa Romero. Dribble ahead. Long ball through. Lero could not slow it down. Just hopped over her blade, if you will, the hook in the stick. You get the sense that it's going to be one of those type of moments, something that where the ball just bounces the right way or the wrong way. A goal gets scored, and potential game winner, especially when you consider the last 3 times these two got together, their matches have been decided by 1 goal. Last 2 of 3 times, beg your pardon. We're seeing Emily Giannis for the first time coming from Lynchburg's bench. Giannis, sophomore from Stewartsville, New Jersey. Got this run started. Now it's Emma Strauss beginning it on the near side. Strauss shoots one in. Dudley trying to keep it from going across the end line. And the whistle goes against Dudley. Winter reaching in. Strauss jabs it away. And then Jones calmly and crucially gets it through that open space around Strauss. Fantastic passing. Revman to Strauss. Now it's Lero. Has Dudley to help. She'll roll it back to the middle. Stepping in and jabbing it away, though, was Mink. Just fantastic hockey right now. Hope people at home, regardless of your biases and who you're rooting for, appreciate what we're seeing. Passes are on target. Jabs are in great positions not to commit a foul. Just poke that ball away. And so far, when the opportunities afford themselves, teams taking advantage in a big way for good scoring chances and a couple goals. Shots overall are even now, 5 apiece. 2 on goal for Shenandoah, 1 for Lynchburg. Can they make it 2? Giannis skipping one into Clayball, who has the lone goal for Lynchburg, and then the ball is stepped on, and Lynchburg will have their 4th corner of the match. Also, as promised, when we see a new player on the turf for the first time, I'll let you know who it is. It is number 29, Erin Boatwright, freshman from Fredericksburg, Virginia. She's playing back on the defensive end. Her sister Alex, backup goalkeeper for Laurel Nix. As we turn our attention to the penalty corner, Strauss will get it started. Passing here to Dudley. Just rips one, and it's through! Emily Dudley with the seeing eye shot near side. 2-1 Lynchburg. Emma Strauss will pick up the assist. Let's watch it one more time. Just an easy decision. Dudley ripping it and beating Morandi. First goal of the year for Dudley. And eerily, around the same time they scored in the first quarter. 7:02 in the first quarter from Clayball, 7:31 remaining in this third quarter from Dudley. And good counter here from Shenandoah, putting Nix in a tough spot. Her friends step in to help out. Shenandoah still pressuring. Tubner has been excellent tonight for Shenandoah, just a freshman, but playing very confident for that frontline group. Dudley trying to chase it down, but getting there first was Mink. Emily Dudley with a goal and assist, so a nice 3-point evening here in game number 1 of 2021. First time we've ever had field hockey in the spring. But tonight, it feels like fall. 41 degrees here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Feels like 37. And to some, it feels like 32. That's why they got gloves on. Emma Strauss, pass down the line, connects with Dudley. Just puts a hard one inside. And cleanly taken away again by Tubner. I said Tubner was on the front line. She's in the midfield. That's why she's also playing back here and stopping that pass in the corner. Either way, wherever she's playing, she's doing great. So is this lady. Kessa Romero shot off her teammate. Friendly fire against Dudley, who was in a prime position to just deflect that one in if it stayed on the ground. Instead, Romero put all the cheese on that backhander. Good news is that Dudley is all right. Must have hit her shoulder area as opposed to the head, thank goodness. Once again, Shenandoah trying to push their way back up. The only issue the last couple of times with Shenandoah's pushes is that they don't have a lot of help. Tyer's trying to get up there and establish position. She's got to wait a little bit of time for her teammates to catch up. Aaron Boatwright with the free hit. Stolen away by Jones. And you just get the feeling, regardless of how the season goes, Kelsey Jones is going to be an all-ODAC player again, an all-stater. She is such a steady force in the midfield for Shenandoah. And when she gets a chance to score, she makes good on those opportunities as well. Emma Strauss trying to get to some open space. Here's Dudley just blindly sending it through. And a whistle goes against Laro inside. As we're now under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play. Joe Hutzler narrating your journey tonight from Lynchburg, Virginia. 21st meeting between these programs since 2004. Lynchburg winning the last 5. Dudley pushing one inside, and then it's swept out. Lynchburg leads in the shots department 7-5 as Dudley sends one off the chest of Tubner, who is okay. Pass that goes right to Jackie Laro, not the person you want to turn it over to. Laro driving in, looking to sweep it back, and Morandi kicks it across the end line. They'll hit it from the 16. Laro with 21 goals in 2019, 55 points. She's had 50 points every season at Lynchburg. Another deflection, this time going off of Dudley up high again. And she walks away from it. And now Lynchburg will have a corner. So the sacrifice wasn't for nothing. Lynchburg with 2 goals tonight on penalty corners. Always a crucial number. It's not something that necessarily you can track well on the stat sheet online. It just tells you how many corners, doesn't say the conversion rate, but the coaches know it. I remember distinctly a few years ago, Coach Relaford talking about we gotta get better at capitalizing on corners, scoring goals on corners. You got an extra couple people out there. This is the best time for you to score. Lynchburg's done it twice. Here's another shot from Dudley that gets knocked down by Morandi. Second save of the night for her. Alex Redmond, one of the captains for Lynchburg, along with Emma Strauss, started that. Green will keep it going. Taylor Green slams on the brakes, pulls it back, now sends the ball through to Clayball. Clayball chipping one, looking for Laro, bounces off of Morandi. Laro goes down, and the whistle gives the ball to Shenandoah. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Why aren't more people more excited about this sport? This is fantastic. I never understand that. Good pass from Romero, connects with Chapezi. Looking for Laro, finds Schneider instead. Romero with the steal. Not the third. Good pressure from Romero, trying to get it back from Henson. Free hit starting with Jones, 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. A whistle will give Shenandoah some good field position. Under 30 seconds, Jones may not have got all that she wanted on that. And Green is happy to take control and clear it away. And the horn will sound to end the third quarter of play. Right now, Lynchburg dominating the odd quarters with 4 shots in that quarter and getting 1 to go through thanks to Emily Dudley on a corner opportunity. We'll step aside for 60 seconds. Be right back with the final 15 minutes of this one. It's Lynchburg 2, Shenandoah 1 on LHSN.
My name is Jen Hyde. I graduated in 2018 and I got my major in philosophy, political science, and I minored in human services. And career-wise, right now I work at a residential treatment center for juveniles with sexually reactive behaviors. I would say the biggest advantage is definitely that it is a small campus. You know, you get to have that one-on-one with your professors. They're willing to help you out. They're going to get to know you more than just a student that they're teaching. You know, they really invest into your lives. Definitely use every resource that you can kind of get at Lynchburg. There's tons of mentors within the professors, the faculty, the staff here, your peers that are here. You have so many options that you can take. There's so many classes, you know, even if it's not within your major, if there's a class you're interested in, take it. Kind of explore your options because Lynchburg does have such a wide variety of different things that you can do. You know, be involved, become a well-rounded individual because Lynchburg sets up the support to where you can do that here.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field. It is almost the start of the fourth quarter, but before we get to numbers of the third quarter, let's show you that goal from the third stanza of this. Came on a corner for Lynchburg. Emily Dudley, just a simple wind up, shoot it in, and a nonchalant celebration of, yep, I got that. 3 points tonight for Emily Dudley and a 1-goal game for Lynchburg. 1-goal lead for Lynchburg, 2-1. 9 shots for Lynchburg so far compared to Shenandoah's 5. Did not register a shot in that third quarter. 5 shots on goal for Lynchburg, 3 for Shenandoah. 2 saves for Laurel Nix and Isabella Morandi. Lynchburg has 5 penalty corners. Shenandoah with 3. And the Hornets of Shenandoah have 1 defensive save tonight. So not just Morandi doing the good work in net, getting some help from her friends. We've also had a green card for those of you scoring at home, trying to get all the information out of this. It was Colleen Schneider who picked up that 2-minute infraction. So 15 minutes on the clock that is now rolling. First game of the season for both teams. Good ball on that free hit by Romero to Brown. Never got past Schneider. And the defensive hit coming for Shenandoah. Of course, the last time Lynchburg was on this turf playing against another team, it was Shenandoah that day in the 2019 ODAC championship game, in which Lynchburg was victorious 2-1 for their 20th ODAC title and Coach Steele's 41 previous seasons. That's bonkers. Think about that. Coach Steele has more titles than some of these girls are old. Some of these ladies aren't even 20 years old. Over 600 wins for Coach Steele as well. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020. If there's anything else that she hasn't won, I'm sure she will. Certainly deserves it. Of course, in the back of everyone's mind, you're thinking, how many of these Lynchburg players are going to decide to come back in the fall? A lot of talented seniors scheduled to graduate this spring, but they do have that extra year if they choose to use it coming up in the fall of 2021. No NCAA tournament this particular season, but it is a squad that went to the quarterfinals in 2019 and one that a lot of people, both in the department and nationally, can look at and see as a threat to pressure for a national championship. Here in the spring, though, it's all about the ODAC as Alexis Brown slices through the middle of the field and gives to Romero, dumps it inside, and Morandi calmly punts it across the line. We've seen a back and forth affair here tonight. Lynchburg winning the first and third quarter, Shenandoah winning the second quarter, not just in goals, but also in chances and really good opportunities to build on a run and get a scoring chance. Lynchburg starting the fourth quarter as the more dominant team. And it's one of those games where it feels like if Lynchburg can go up by 2, they hold a decisive advantage. Aaron Boatwright stepping into this. Bounces off a Shenandoah player. Finds its way to Emma Strauss. Strauss backhanding one. Deflects off Dudley. Trying to get a shot on it. Schneider lays down the block. Excellent work by 2 and White. And Shenandoah will take it from there. Whistle favoring Lynchburg, so Rebman will put it to the middle. Lots of open space there for Brown to work with. Played outside for Romero. And Laro with a shot, stopped by Morandi. And she ushers that one across the line. 4, now 5 saves for Isabella Morandi. Had 2 at halftime, did Morandi. So the scoring chances for Lynchburg increasing the further we go into this contest. Schneider goes down, whistle favoring the visitors. That's Boatwright trying to chase it down. And she will hold on to possession. And it finds its way through to Laro. 3-on-1 advantage. Looking to get it inside to Dudley, who goes down. Morandi playing her position well. She has to be afforded that space. No shot coming from that situation for Lynchburg, but they are clearly riding the wave of momentum that they picked up in the third quarter. We look forward to asking at this point Emily Dudley more about that in our post-game interview, which you can find here on the LHSN YouTube channel later tonight. Still a good chunk of hockey left, so it could be someone else. But a 3-point night for Dudley. She leads the way on the stat sheet. Redmond's ball intercepted. Can Shenandoah sustain some offensive pressure? Not many Shenandoah Hornets coming up to help on that run for Florio. She didn't have a lot of friends around. Now a good pass here from Jones. Nick slides out to make the stop. She's got to get back up because there's still a chance. Redmond looking to take it away. She tumbles, and a whistle is blown. Winter will hold it here for Shenandoah. Clayball jabbing that one away. And the first good chance Shenandoah's had since the start of the second half, thwarted by that lady, Laurel Nix, and her friends. Third save of the night for Laurel Nix. Aaron Boatwright taking that away. Terrific pass that connects. Looking in for Laro. Schneider playing good defense, sweeps it aside. Boatwright, dangerous swing. Shenandoah will take it from there. And now they're going to call Jones back. You got to try. Ever since they instituted that quick restart after fouls, you got to see if you can get away with that quick run. Sometimes they call you back. Brooke Highland doing a really good job. Her and Boatwright, we've seen a couple freshmen out here tonight for Lynchburg, and what is a really experienced team. Coach Steele not afraid to play first years. Of course, in recent years, some really good success with first-year players. Might as well get them started early. Game number 1. See what you got against what feels like is another ODAC tournament team in Shenandoah. Strauss sweeping one inside the scoring area. Alex Redmond. Great dribbling from 12 in black. Finding Clayball, push to Dudley, who swept it wide right. Morandi makes the first stop, and then a Shenandoah defenseman steps on it. So it's going to be a corner, but what a great opportunity set up there by Redmond in the midfield. Clayball, an excellent pass to Dudley, but that follow-through was pushed as opposed to pulled, and ends up being a corner in the end. Still a good chance here for Lynchburg. Seven Lynchburg players around that semicircle. 5 Shenandoah players in goal. Now they spread out like bees in a hive. Green pushes it back in. Clayball off a foot and in. I think it was off a Shenandoah player. The defensive players for Lynchburg celebrating with Taylor Green. I think that came off of Shenandoah. It should be Taylor Green's goal. They're calling Laro's name over the loudspeaker. We're going to have to roll it back for you. We didn't see the lead up there. Let's see if we can do it. Keep going, all the way back. So Clayball was the closest one to it. I think it went off a Shenandoah player and in. Just came across the goal line. So over the loudspeaker, they gave it to Laro. I don't think she was able to get a deflection on it. So I'm going to write down Taylor Green on my sheet, and we'll obviously all go back and look at it later. And of course, I said it went off of a foot because it made such a thump. It didn't really make a cracking sound as if it went off a stick. Laro might be able to still get one. That one's poked near Morandi. She will kick it aside. Laro going down, and Shenandoah dribbling it out of the scoring area, but only for so long. Strauss sweeps it back to the middle. Dudley steps into it. And a whistle will give Lynchburg another corner. 5:20 to go in the fourth quarter. All home team here in the final stanza of tonight's showdown.
Taking this corner for Lynchburg, number 7, Emma Strauss.
Emma Strauss will take the honors as she is accustomed to doing. Out top. Swung here near side to Strauss again. Take the shot. Deflected out of play. And going to hit from the 16.
Number 4, Hayden Chalky.
That was the 7th corner of the night for Lynchburg. They've scored all 3 of their goals off of penalty corners, taking advantage of having more people on the field. It's as simple as it gets. You get everybody around the scoring area, more people than the opposing team, your odds are higher that you're going to score. Highland working on 2 defenders. Kelsey Jones breaks away. She has the only goal for Shenandoah, which came on a penalty stroke back in the 2nd quarter of play. And I've been told we've got that goal for Lynchburg from a different angle. Let's go ahead and try to show that. So Green's going to hit it first, and then when it gets inside, yeah, it did go off a foot. And I believe it went, Clayball basically for insurance pushed it through, but off that first bounce off of Tubner's foot, it looked as though it crossed the line that was hit back out into play. So I still say that it was Green who should be credited with the goal. Because again, she hit it from outside the scoring area, but it was deflected by the opposition, so it would count if it went in. I certainly can understand why at the scorer's table they gave it to Laro. She was around it from their perspective. We'll get to see at least one more time in the post-game highlights, so stick around for those. Also, we will have a chance to pick our player of the match. Right now, the leading candidate will come from Lynchburg Stables. Highland trying to sweep it in. Now backhands one that's kneed away by Morandi. Highland, great job putting it back to the top side with Brown, keeping it away from a couple jabs. Strauss, hard hit into the middle. Tubner was there, and the whistle gives it to Shenandoah with 2.5 to go. Under 2 minutes to play, 4 goals scored tonight, 3 for the hosts and 1 for the visitors, as Lynchburg continues to dominate possession and scoring chances. 14 shots overall for Lynchburg compared to Shenandoah's 6. It was 5 apiece after 2 quarters of play. Looking at the individual numbers, goalkeepers for Shenandoah, Isabella Morandi with facing 9 shots, letting 3 by, and 6 stops. Laurel Nix has faced 4, stopping 3 and giving up 1 on that penalty stroke. Might be facing another one. Taylor Green had other ideas, and she takes that one away. Let's peek at the individual stats for other players on the pitch. Kelsey Jones, the lone goal scorer for Shenandoah, has 3 shots tonight and that 1 goal on the penalty stroke. And according to the stats, they have given that first goal of the night for Lynchburg to Emma Strauss. So Strauss with a goal and assist as well. So a 3-point night for her, as well as Emily Dudley. Dudley scoring the second goal of the night for Lynchburg. And there's still a question mark on that last goal. I've got green, they've got Laro. Either way, Lynchburg has 3. And trying to keep it that way on this corner. 5th penalty corner of the night for Shenandoah. They have yet to score off of one. They'll get it started with Rambergner. And then a block by Rebman on Tubner's attempt. Ball is high. And it will be a defensive, I beg your pardon, it'll be a hit just outside the shooting area, deflected through. Nix will usher it aside. And a whistle gives it back to Lynchburg as they are 15 seconds away from defeating Shenandoah for the 6th straight time and starting 2021 with a win in the overall standings and in the ODAC standings. The favorite to win it all starts with a victory. The Hive has spoken, and Lynchburg takes care of Shenandoah by a final score of 3-1 on opening night under the lights of Schellenberger Field. Excellent match overall, regardless of who you're rooting for. Really, really fun game to call. Hoping you enjoyed it as well. We're going to take a small break, come back, look at our player to watch, and show you highlights as we end our evening on LHSN.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
We've talked about her tonight. She's in there. Yeah, you kind of see her through the bun of Aaron Boatwright, kinda. Emily Dudley is our player of the match. 1 goal, 1 assist for a 3-point start to her 2021 season. And a really good start for Lynchburg overall. A 3-1 victory over Shenandoah. As we do, we leave you with highlights of the previous action as we gear up for another one on LHSN tomorrow at noon. Lynchburg baseball taking on Ferrum. Until next time, we say so long from Lynchburg, where the Hornets of Lynchburg defeat Shenandoah 3-1 tonight on the field hockey pitch. For the entire LHSN crew, I'm Joe Hutzler reminding you it's a great day to be a Hornets, and we are one nation.